Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all doing fine. Guys, listen, you know what? It was a good day yesterday, wasn't it? Well, it was better than what it has been over the last few weeks, guys. But before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. You guys can do that for me. Be excellent, guys. Thank you so much for coming this morning on Saturday, guys. On a Saturday morning, really great to have you guys on board. Now, look, guys, the Senne Lammens, obviously, transfer broke yesterday for Fabrizio Romano. Speaking about Senne Lammens, saying that he's had very positive talks and basically has agreed terms with Manchester United, close to agreeing terms with Manchester United. Now, I'm hearing that he has agreed terms with Manchester United. He wants to come to Manchester United. That is his preference. Manchester City are out of the race. They want Gianluigi Donnarumma, and they're going to be concentrating on that goalkeeper for now, of course, guys. And Edison hasn't left yet, so that's a big problem with them. Now, the one thing I would say about Senne Lammens and Manchester United in general is that over the last few months, when we're negotiating players, our biggest problem hasn't been the personal terms. It hasn't been the terms being agreed. That's been pretty easy. We had a verbal agreement with Baleba. We had a proper agreement with Mbeumo, a proper contractual agreement with Mbeumo on June the 1st, and it took us 50 days. The biggest problem that Man United have is obviously negotiating fees with the clubs. For example, now with Royal Antwerp, which is Senne Lammens' club, we're going to have a problem with obviously time-wise in regards to trying to get a deal sorted out. Now, it's expected that Man United will get a deal sorted out. It's not an astronomical amount of money when you're speaking in the grand scheme of things. And Man United as a football club, 20 million is not a lot of money. But what I would say is that, look, you know what, we need to get this deal done quickly so we can move on to the midfield situation. Having Senne Lammens agree personal terms is part of it. It is part of it. It is a big part of it, of course, because obviously it saves a lot of time in regards to, getting the transfer over the line. Remember, we got to get the player in. We got to do a medical, things like that as well. So it's going to take a week or so before this transfer actually gets confirmed. I believe it will happen. I do believe it will happen. As I said on last night's show, and it was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, the deal is almost done. The talks have been agreed, and it was confirmed. And great news, of course, and it's good news for Stretford Post because obviously it's another player that we mentioned first, guys, absolutely, about 6 months ago, guys. And it is another great milestone for Stretford Post because, we've been mentioning a lot of players. In Mbeumo, we got the news first. And, Dorgu, we got the news first. Senne Lammens, we got the news first. And now, look, you know what? I've got a short video on there about Senne Lammens on July the 20th. I spoke about Senne Lammens, about how he is on Man United's radar, and Man United have inquired about Senne Lammens way back on July the 20th. The first time it became solid about Senne Lammens in regards to going to Man United was in April. We started saying that this is quite serious. Man United are interested in Senne Lammens. In January, I was speaking about Senne Lammens, talking about how he should be a target for Manchester United. Now, I don't know whether Manchester United watch this stream. I don't know. I mean, it's unlikely, but you never know. I don't know if a representative from Manchester United watches this. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, we got the news, and we've been right so far about a lot of things, guys. We really have. We ain't just guesswork. We do it. We do our research, and we got it right. And it looks like Senne Lammens will be a Manchester United player, which I feel like is a great statement in regards to a young up-and-coming goalkeeper who I would compare to the Petr Cech signing for Chelsea or the Peter Schmeichel signing for Man United. Because remember, these great goalkeepers of the past did not sign from Real Madrid or Barcelona. Schmeichel signed from Brøndby. I think it was Petr Cech signed for Sparta Prague, if I'm not wrong. And that's what I'm talking about. Just because they come from these clubs doesn't mean they're a bad keeper or, they're not good enough to play for Manchester United. The goalkeeper position is completely different to what a midfielder, a striker, or a defender position would be. You just need to keep that ball out of the net, and you need to prove that you can keep the ball out of the net. The goal is the same size all around Europe at the end of the day. Now, I am seeing a lot of pessimistic Man United fans, and probably Onana fanboys and things like that, trying to criticize Senne Lammens, trying to put a damper on Senne Lammens when they have no inside knowledge about him. They're just guessing. They see a couple of YouTube clips from rival fans, and they want to basically bring the player down and try and dismiss the transfer. Look, guys, At the end of the day, I don't call crap. I don't paint crap. At the end of the day, I know who's a good player. I know who's not a good player. I've been in this game for a very long time, football, 40 years or something like that. And I know who's a good player. I know who's potentially going to be a world-class player and who's not going to be a potential world-class player. And Senne Lammens will be a full Belgian international very, very soon. Don't worry about that. He'll be the permanent figure in that team. And of course, Belgium, you're thinking about Courtois. I mean, obviously, he's another player that I liken Senne Lammens to. And a guy who's authoritative, tall, strong, can save with his feet, can save with his hands, can distribute, can catch the ball from corners. And there's a lot of people who are not looked at that and not delved into the complicities of a player. They're just like, because they've got a narrative there that they don't want him because he's not a Diego Costa, because Diego Costa is one of the most famous goalkeepers in the world, things like that. Do you know what I mean? And just because Diego Costa, I've never seen Diego Costa make a magnificent save. I'm sorry, guys, but I haven't. And I would tell you that right now. I've never seen him make a save and think, wow, what a save in his career. You know what I mean? I've seen it from Barthez. I've seen it from De Gea. I've seen it from various goalkeepers around the world. But in regards to Costa, no. I haven't seen him, and I haven't watched the game, whether it's the Euros, whether it's Portugal, whether it's Porto, and thought, now that is a goalkeeper. Now that is a goalkeeper. I've never had that. I've never thought that at all about Diego Costa. But what I would say is that Senne Lammens is our guy. We back Senne Lammens, and I don't want these so-called Man United fans who live in a village somewhere talking about Senne Lammens like it just because he doesn't fit a certain narrative. Do you know what I mean? All right, just because you're an Arna fanboy or whatever you want. I don't want people doing that. This guy's a young lad. It's going to take time as well. We have to remember that as a goalkeeper coming to the Premier League at a young age, it's going to be difficult. Don't worry about that. It will be difficult for him. It is the Premier League. It's not the Belgian league, of course. But he has all the attributes. He's well above his age. His maturity is the next level. He has all the attributes to be a permanent figure in that Manchester United goal. And slowly but surely, he'll be groomed into being the number one for Manchester United. It won't happen instantaneously. I don't expect it to happen instantaneously, but he will be groomed physically, mentally to be playing for Manchester United. And I believe he's got his head screwed on. It comes across that way. I've seen many interviews with him. He's got his head screwed on, unlike Onana, who is a little bit of a clown, who doesn't take it seriously. He doesn't. There's an element of Onana who doesn't take this game seriously. He doesn't. Listen, guys, this guy is got dance music, techno music. Onana's got techno music playing in his head whilst he's goalkeeping. Do you know what I mean? That is Onana. If you ever seen, I think it's the Football Factory or something. I've forgotten what it's called, but obviously, Jason Statham was playing in goal. And Jason Statham, I think, was it? I've forgotten what the film was called, but yeah, look, I think it was the Football Factory, and Jason Statham was in goal. And watch that film, guys. It reminds me of Onana, 100%. It reminds me of Onana when Onana was what Onana's like. And just watch that film, the Football Factory. Absolutely. Big up everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, and big up everyone who joined me on this Saturday morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me welcome my legend, which is Tyborg. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I know YouTube can be misleading, but this Lammens lad looks like a genuine keeper. Good with the ball. Good, great distribution. Great shot stopping. Good at saving penalties. He has everything. Thank you so much, Tyborg. And you're absolutely spot on. And you know what? This is the funny thing. You did say there about, I know YouTube can be misleading. It can be misleading in the other way as well. People can easily make a player look good. They can make a player look bad. I understand that. So it's very important that you do the eye test and you do your research, which I've done on Senne Lammens months ago. I saw this guy and he caught my eye straight away. You know, a certain player, when a player is good, he catches your eye. You're like, wow, this guy's quite good. You know what I mean? And this is what he did last January. And I made a show about it and stuff like that. You know, what I would say is that there's a lot of people out there who will pick clips of mistakes. Look, I can get Peter Schmeichel compilation. Put us Peter Schmeichel compilation together and make Peter Schmeichel look like David James. Do you know what I mean? I can make David James look like Buffon. You know, this is the thing with YouTube. But one thing you look at, he's 20 years old, and you look at these penalty saves. He's a unit at his age. He's commanding. He's loud. He can distribute that ball, and that's what I like about him. And I feel like he fits the Manchester United goalkeeper mold 100%. 100% he fits the Man United goalkeeper mold. Man United haven't had a goalkeeper from it like him since Peter Schmeichel. Van der Sar would say. He was the last goalkeeper of that kind, you know, that tall, leggy, commanding, authoritative, breeds confidence and calmness within the team and stuff like that. We haven't had something like that since Edwin van der Sar. And I think it's a godsend that we're getting this goalkeeper. Look, guys, look, you know, at the end of the day, look, there's only two goalkeepers in Europe I was screaming and shouting for, which was Gianluigi Donnarumma and Senne Lammens. Those are the two goalkeepers that I've been shouting for and screaming for the last weeks and months. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we're getting one of them. In fact, I'm actually glad we're getting Senne Lammens because, you know, Donnarumma is an inexpensive player. Senne Lammens is a lot less of a pressure because his price tag is, what, 20 million? It's going to be about 20 million euros, 17 million pounds. Obviously, the biggest issue is Man United agreeing a fee with Royal Antwerp. That is going to be an issue, of course. We know what Man United are like with negotiations with the club. They're not bad with negotiations with players. Negotiating with clubs, however, is a little bit of a problem going forward. But I do believe this still will be done, as it always is, of course, when we agree personal terms like that. And Fabrizio Romano posted it twice on his Twitter yesterday, so there was no error there. There was no mistake there. There is a little bit of pessimism from other journalists, of course. You know, there's a long way to go. Laurie Whitwell basically said we're not going to sign a goalkeeper this summer, blah, 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 all that, you know, yesterday. And lo and behold, there was a tweet from Fabrizio Romano literally minutes later, live on stream, guys. And there you go, guys. And my thumbnail title yesterday was he agrees terms, and it was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, of course, guys. Now, look, you know, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to doubt Senne Lammens or Senne Lammens. I mean, Senne Lammens, you know what I mean. Guys, it's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to doubt him, who are going to say because he's not a popular choice. He's not the what is it? Was it the superstar sort of you know, glamorous signing that people are expecting? People are expecting the Donnarummas. They're expecting the Costas. You know what I mean? They're expecting these type of goalkeepers to come in, you know, and because we're not getting that type of goalkeeper, they don't really have that brain of a football brain where they think like, you know what, he could become the next generational player. They weren't around when Peter Schmeichel signed from Brøndby. They weren't around when Petr Cech signed from Sparta Prague. They weren't around at that time. You know what I mean? They don't realize what great goalkeepers, what can happen. You know, sometimes you could bring a goalkeeper in and he'll be an absolute gem. You know what I mean? Or a player in general. You can get Robinson from Hull City. He becomes a world-class left wing back. You know, you can do things like that at the end of the day, you know. And Dennis Irwin, another one. Players, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And this is the thing, right? They don't quite understand. Like, there's a lot of people online who just go with vibes, and that's the problem. Big up Tyborg. Lammens. Sorry, there we go. Lammens will quickly be our number one, and Nana will eventually leave because he won't be playing. Lammens is just too good for the bench. I agree. He has everything what Anana supposedly had when we bought him. I agree with that. Absolutely, Tyborg. And you know what? I like Tyborg because Tyborg, you speak the truth. And I've heard your analysis about German football as well, and it's the truth. And you have to look at this and you have to analyze it as well. You know, I would say that I mean, guys who know football, guys who've been around football for a long time will know that Senne Lammens is going to be a very good goalkeeper. And because we've seen other goalkeepers at that age, you know, we've seen the Schmeichels, we've seen the Petr Cechs, we've seen the Courtois. Where did Courtois come from, by the way, guys, when he signed for Chelsea? You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about at the end of the day. These guys Chelsea took a risk on Courtois. Chelsea took a risk on Petr Cech. You know, Man United took a risk on Peter Schmeichel at the end of the day. And this is what we're talking about, you know. We've been around the block. We've seen a lot of great goalkeepers in our time. Of course, you know, seeing Schmeichel when he was a young lad. I've seen Courtois and Petr Cech when they were young lads. And there is a distinct similarity between Senne Lammens and those guys. And I don't just say that willy-nilly. There's a distinct similarity. So when people mention Suzuki or they mention Costa or they mention, and these guys, I have no affiliation with them. I have no like hatred or bias against them. I will call it as it is. I would urge you to give me a compilation of Costa saves. I would urge you to do that. He's a steady goalkeeper, right? And then when I look at him and I think, nah, it's not really a Man United goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? He's a steady goalkeeper, you know, and that's about it. I mean, yes, he's better than Nana. Yes, he's better than Bayindir. But I'm talking about what's going to be a statement like Man United player, a player of like what fits Man United, fits the mold and what we are all about. Of course, Morning, Dembo. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good times. Here we go before my 45th birthday. Dembo, big up yourself. I hope you're doing well. 20th, 30th of August. 2 days before the window shuts, of course. Boomo, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We are in the right direction. The glory days are coming. I can see it clearly. Good morning to United family. Happy weekend to everyone. Happy weekend to you too, Boomo. Good to see you, of course. Good morning, Sal. How you doing? I'm very well, thank you. I love your updates. Big up, bro. Big up, Boomo. Good to see you, mate, my friend. Good to see you as well this morning, on this Saturday morning, of course, guys. Now, look, it is weekend again. It's football weekend, and Senne Lammens obviously has not signed for Man United yet, so we will have Bayindir or Onana in goal tomorrow. Now, what do I think about that? It's a little bit, precarious in regards to the two goalkeepers we got. I wouldn't put it past Man United playing Heaton in goal, because you're looking at Onana, and if Man United sells Senne Lammens, is Onana in the right frame of mind to play? Is he in the right frame of mind to play for Man United tomorrow? I don't know. Do we keep Bayindir? Is he in the right frame of mind? We got a very kind of strange feeling between the two goalkeepers, because we haven't had two goalkeepers like Bayindir and Onana for a very long time. They're distinctly similar. And look, I hope that tomorrow we absolutely run away of the game. We smash Fulham 3 or 4-0, game over. That's it at the end of the day. And we don't need to rely on a goalkeeper error and stuff like that, at the end of the day. But yeah, look, Senne Lammens won't be in the team straight away. That's one thing I would say. Onana and Bayindir will probably be there unless Bayindir leaves. Senne Lammens, though, I agree with Tyborg. He's too good to be sitting on the bench. He will eventually move out Onana out of that goal. I think he will. And he will prove to be Man United's new number one. And we can move forward with Senne Lammens for the next 5 and 10 years. Fantastic. You know what I mean? And I won't be thinking about a goalkeeper for a number of years. Absolutely good. APN, big up Sal. Any update about selling players? Nothing at the moment. The only thing I've heard about the players that have been going is that Chelsea are still working out a deal for Garnacho at the moment. Man United are seeing if they can do a kind of swap deal with Chelsea. With Andre Santos was the one that we were linked with. I don't think that's going to happen. Chelsea are very reluctant to sell Santos to Man United, swap Santos to Man United. I think they're very reluctant to do that. Sancho, however, is a little bit of a difficult one. Sancho's not going to sign for any football club. He's going to go on loan. I don't think he will leave on a permanent, because he's looking for that payday at the end of his contract. That's what he's looking for. It's going to be great at the end of next season. This season, at the end of this season, it's going to be great, because you know what? A lot of those players have been causing us problems are going to be gone. And that's good. You know what I mean? And Sancho will be one of them. Sancho's waiting for his big payday. That's what he's waiting for. Anthony, however, Batiste are inquiring and in constant talks and communication with Manchester United about a loan deal with an obligation. And also there's a conversation between Man United and Batiste about a shared ownership of the player. So basically they pay a bit of money and they own the player half or quarter, whatever. So they have basically like shares you have in the player, and you have a player that they own, co-own. No, that is the one thing that they're trying to do. They're trying to work out a deal. They cannot afford Anthony. I don't know why Anthony's thrown his rattles at his pram and say, basically it's a standoff, isn't it, between Man United and a few players there that, you know what, I want Batiste, I want nothing else. It's a bit like Rashford, I want Barcelona, I want nothing else. And obviously, we got, was it Garnacho? I want Chelsea and I want nothing else. It's ridiculous culture at the football club, and these guys need to be the bomb squad, as they call them, isn't it? They need to be removed from this football club. Absolutely. Really, really toxic players, guys. Really toxic player. Really toxic player, guys. Randall, morning, Sal. Keeper, yes. Big up, Randall. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Tucker. What's going on? Good morning, you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Good morning, Tammy Goes. What's going on, my friend? Tommy Goes. Is it Tommy Goes or Tammy Goes? Tammy Goes. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Tyro, good morning, Sal. I saw the Chelsea game last night, and right now I'm really scared that Manchester United this season. Look, I saw the Chelsea game. I wouldn't read into too much of it, Tyro. I think West Ham are awful. I think West Ham are awful, and I wouldn't put Man United putting goals past them. I really wouldn't. I think West Ham are in big trouble this season with Potter. I'm looking at Chelsea and West Ham, and I think that West Ham just gave it away. I didn't see anything for West Ham that would suggest that they were any a threat to Chelsea. Chelsea look better than they are. I believe that. I'm not saying that Chelsea are bad and this and that. They're going to be good this season. They're going to be in a top 4 fight. But what I would say is that, it did overly emphasize them a little bit. It did really make them look better than they did. West Ham did. They made them look better than they actually are, which is, what I would think, of course. Morning, Chow. Morning, guys. We need to have Post Lammens. He will make mistakes, and he is a league. We may have signed him 13 years ago. Adapt to the league like we signed. I mean, De Gea didn't really make many mistakes. He made a few corner errors, maybe, but I won the league. I wouldn't say that. I don't want to be talking about mistakes at the moment. Negative Chow as usual. I don't want to be talking about mistakes. When it goes without saying, it's a really ridiculous statement because you're thinking of a player who, we need to be patient. Of course, we're going to be patient. It's you who's not patient, Chow. You're the one who comes on here, not patient. We're the ones who are patient. We are patient all the time with players, and especially players like Dorgu and players like that who we're very patient with. And we're going to be patient with Senne Lammens. You don't need to tell us that. It's quite obvious that we're going to be patient with him. Guys, don't need to tell a proper Man United fan of 40 years, not sat in Los Angeles somewhere, good morning, Sal. We need a midfield badly. Absolutely agree with you. Denbo, I have it correctly, Sal. Lammens is 6'4". There you go, my friend. Thank you so much, Denbo. Good to see you. Big up, Pearl. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Of course, big up yourself. Natty, Sal, we do not care about people. Bring us Lammens. Absolutely, Natty. Big up, Natty. Lammens is a new Jean-Marie Flaff. If you know, you know. I think I've heard of him. I think I have, but I can't pronounce his name. Mean Machines, that's the one, guys. Dembo, Mean Machines, that's the one. Jason Statham reminds me of Onana. That is Onana. That is Onana. That is what Onana is. If you watch Mean Machines with Vinnie Jones and things like that, that is Onana. That is the one. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dembo, for that. Sal, West Ham is a dead fit. I feel for them. West Ham are going down. I don't read into too much of that game. I felt that West Ham were bad last season. You see in football, right? They got rid of David Moyes. David Moyes built his team. You brought in a manager like Potter. You haven't backed your manager properly, and you're expecting him to work some kind of miracle here. And this is what I'm talking about management in general. He hasn't got any of his players. Potter's not a bad manager. He just hasn't got his players in there. So he's trying to do things with that team that David Moyes built. And my suggestion is, don't employ David Moyes. You know what I mean? That's in the first place. That's what I would say, especially twice. So what I would say is that, look, I feel sorry for Potter. I do. It is not his team. West Ham have a scattering of talented players, but don't fit into a team and don't fit into a system. It's almost like there's no plan. And we've been there before, haven't we? There's no plan there. And it fed straight into Chelsea's hands. Chelsea are what I saw at the weekend, which was a 0-0 against Aston Villa, wasn't it? Was it 0-0 against Crystal Palace? A 0-0 against Crystal Palace. They drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace. That is Chelsea, right? West Ham made them look 10 times better. And if West Ham are not up for this league, if they don't want to fight for the cause, they might as well just go down to the Championship and give someone else a go, because they are a really soft touch. And an East Londoner like me, an East Stender like me, they do not represent East London. They do not represent East London because they are a soft touch. And that's the last thing that EastEnders are, is a soft touch. And I look at West Ham and I think you are a bloody soft team. You're soft. You give up easily. You'll play Arsenal and you'll give up easily. But watch West Ham when they play Man United. Watch them challenge for every ball. Watch Noble. Watch Barrow. What's his name? I've forgotten his bloody name. He plays for England. He's not even that good and he's overrated. Bowen. Look, watch him. Watch him, guys. When they play against Man United, they all of a sudden turn into these world-class, unbeatable players, and it drives me mad. It really does. Benny, good morning, Benny. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Kenny. How you doing? Glad we got rid of Don Ashwood. Otherwise, we would have gotten Southgate or Potter. Look, you know what? I'm not going to bring too much negativity in regards to Potter because that is unfair. You're looking at the team and it's not his team. But, however, football don't take any prisoners. You are accountable for your own actions. And if I was Potter, I would have set my team up in a way that wouldn't lose to Chelsea like that. 5-1 at home. I mean, come on. Especially when you take the lead. You take the lead. I mean, all you need to do is be tight, compact, narrow, and keep that game tight. You know what I mean? For the next 20 minutes. But far from it. They just absolutely went off the ball. I don't know what happened to them. Taiwo. We really need a squad depth. Marcel, Garnacho, and Anthony. AFCON is by December, absolutely, which will lose about 5 players. We need to keep these players. I agree, Taiwo. The African nations, of course, I might be doing watch-alongs to the African nations, but, what I would say is that, yes, we're in trouble. We also got Mazrui, we got Ahmad, we got Onana, haven't we? Guys who are going to be in African nation. Bumo's going to be in the African nations as well. Yeah, we need a squad. Now, guys, I want to bring in a player that have been Man United circulating around, like in regards to what I've heard over here in the Middle East. Man United have inquired about Amadou Onana. Now, Amadou Onana, I mean, another Onana in our team. Imagine two Onanas in our team. Onana to Onana. Now, we got Amadou Onana, who has been linked with a move to Manchester United, the £50 million, euros, should I say, midfielder for Belgium, is subject of a move to Manchester United. Now, guys, I like this midfielder. A lot of you have been talking about Amadou Onana, of course, over the last weeks. And I was like, why are we not being linked to him? And lo and behold, over this next few days, over these last few days, we've been linked with Amadou Onana. Great player, Premier League experience, an absolute beast in midfield, guys. Under the radar a little bit, in my opinion. Under the radar a little bit in regards to that. Contract expires in 2029. And so he's still fresh in regards to that. Of course, defensive midfielder, central midfielder, absolute animal in that midfield. And I think that'd be an absolute game changer signing for Man United if they manage to pull something like that off. However, it's going to cost a lot of money. And again, how much would we get Amadou Onana for? I think we'll probably be able to get Amadou Onana for about 65 to 75 million euros. That is how much he's going to be worth. Obviously, the Manchester United tax is going to be put into play, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, he's only been at Aston Villa 1 year. Of course, I think he signed from Everton, but he's only been there 1 year. Very good player. And again, I like these links to these players because this is the type of players that Manchester United need, Manchester United want, you know? Guys, so you heard it here first. Amadou Onana, Manchester United inquired about Amadou Onana, and hopefully something happens and something materializes in regards to the midfield because Man United need a midfield. If we get a goalkeeper, it'd be great if we get the midfield as well. And yes, that does move it to an 8 or 9 out of 10. If Man United get a midfielder and a goalkeeper, 8.5, I'm saying, out of 10, because we're late and obviously we haven't got rid of the players we need to get rid of course, guys, and we haven't got squad depth. So what I would say is that, Amadou Onana linked to Man United, Stretford Post exclusive. Let's see what happens in regards to that. It's a perfect player for Man United. Premier League it's proven. Perfect position for Man United. Perfect physique. The guy is dominant, strong, quick, skillful, can win headers, can win battles in that midfield. Something we've been lacking. It's a bit like Baleba, isn't it? Something we've been lacking. And I think that would be a good signing for Man United, absolutely. And he's been under the radar, to be honest with you. It really has. Lammens would quickly starting over Onana. I think so. And what we have to look at, Kenny, what we have to look at is this, right, Kenny, is that Onana's been dropped for Man United. Ruben Amorim said it yesterday. Onana is fit like he was last week. So that basically is a dig at Onana, slyly, indirectly, is a dig at Onana, isn't it? He's actually called out Onana there. He's actually saying that I didn't play him because I didn't want to play him. I chose Bayindir for that game. And if Onana's not playing now, right, and Bayindir is ahead of Onana, that basically means Senne Lammens is the number one. That's what I'm thinking, because Senne Lammens is better than both of them in my eyes. But obviously, Onana's got the experience. Senne Lammens is going to start ahead of Bayindir. I believe that. He absolutely is. GK, what's going on? My big query, is Sesko ready for that prime requirement of finishing chances? Yes, he is, mate. We wouldn't have signed him for that much money if he wasn't. Sal, I hate seeing winning team photo. I do not know why. Because obviously it represents the last 10 years of what Man United have been doing for the last 10 years, isn't it? At the end of the day, it represents that, doesn't it? Benny, he gets his angles right. He's always up on his toes. Absolutely, keepers should be. He's always communicating with his defenders. His passing is good. He'll learn as he goes and only get better at United. Benny, thank you so much. Great comment. And this is what I talk about: ball knowledge. I like this kind of comment because it is true. And he's done his research. He's watched Senne Lammens. There are people on Twitter right now who are trying to slag him off and saying he's not really, doesn't come out for crosses. He doesn't communicate. He doesn't. They're talking like the complete opposite, because they have a narrative against him. There's too many vibe people on Twitter. Who don't understand the football club. A lot of them have like Marcus Rashford as their photo on their Avi and stuff like that. There's a lot of vibe people. There's not many people with a ball knowledge. You know what I mean? A proper ball knowledge, a proper partial, calm ball knowledge. You know what I mean? Like I could bring on the show and have a good conversation with. There's not many people like that. There's too many people with agendas. And, you can't be overly zealous. You can't be overly pessimistic as well. You have to keep a middle ground here and call things as they are. Don't call things based on your emotional attachment to something. You know, there's a lot of people with emotional attachment to things, you know what I mean, in this football hemisphere at the moment. They have too much football attachment. And, you know, in regards to players, a player FC kind of thing. I want Amram to start Sesko and give him more time. Is there no more point bringing off the bench? Absolutely. Saviour. Good morning, sir. Our coach said we won't need to sell for us to bring in new players. To let's get Lammens and the midfield, and Lammens will add 99% to the team, the fixed team. Absolutely agree. That's Saviour. It cannot be overestimated. The midfield, the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is so important as in the football team. You know, as I've witnessed my whole life. You know, it's not like I witnessed Man United in their most successful period. I witnessed every single trophy in Man United's successful period. You know, I know the characteristics that Man United need. I know the goalkeeper that Man United need, the kind of goalkeeper that Man United need, you know, and you can replicate that. You know, you can. And football hasn't changed in regards to, you know, physique and things like that. Football has regressed. I think that Man United team of the 90s would mash up any team today. Even if they're more athletic and all that, as people keep saying, I think they will mash up any team today. And I've watched a lot of football, guys, over the years. And I look at Senne Lammens, and if he's not the right guy, I'll say, you know, he's not the right guy. But he's the right guy for Man United. The age, the physique, the calmness he installs into his defense, the communicating, the authoritativeness that he gets. He doesn't give the team anxiety. He doesn't give them indecisiveness like Onana does. He's a good goalkeeper, and the defense will be very confident after a couple of games. It won't be straight away, but after a couple of games, the defense will be much more confident playing alongside Senne Lammens than Onana and Bayindir. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a great help to our team in general. You know, starts at the back and it goes forward. GK, I am optimistic at Amram approach and players we have. I can say it was hard luck with that. We didn't get a point in the first match. We didn't get a point because precisely what we've been talking about today, goalkeeper situation. That's why we didn't get a point, you know. This is why, you know, we shouldn't have snoozed and loozed. We should have got Senne Lammens 2 weeks ago. That's when we should have got Senne Lammens. And this is why I wouldn't give Ineos a 9 out of 10. Because Senne Lammens is a relatively easy deal to do, you know, and they didn't do it. We waited. And a goalkeeper cost us 3 points at the weekend. You know, 2 or 3 points it cost us. Yeah. 1 point or 2. Good morning, Sal. I hope Senne Lammens is good enough defending corners. He is. Tenzing. He is. Listen to the stream, my friend. Tucker, Lammens will be number 1 in December when he takes over Nana, go to AFCON. Yeah. And I think he'll be number 1 before that. I do. I think it's going to be a struggle for Onana to regain his place in the football team. It's going to be a choice, but I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's between choosing between your finger and your thumb. Onana or Bayindir tomorrow. You know, it's going to be difficult. I would pick Bayindir still. I'll probably pick Heaton, but you know, I don't think he's going to pick Heaton. I would still put Bayindir, but I predicted that Onana in my match preview. I predicted that Onana would start. I would say that it might be Bayindir. We'll have to wait and see. Sal, Natty, big up Tucker. Natty, Sal, do you think they will buy an experienced goalkeeper next season? No. I'm not even thinking about next season. What's going to happen next season? I think that if Senne Lammens does well, and I hope he does well, we won't be signing another goalkeeper next season. Absolutely not. If he does well. And I fully expect him to absolutely be a generational this season. I really do. If he signs for Man United, I fully expect Senne Lammens to be the next best goalkeeper in the world. He is the goalkeeper I look at in world football right now. He's the one that stands out for me as the next up-and-comer. He's the next Courtois. He's the next Petr Cech, the next Schmeichel. He's the next Manuel Neuer. This guy. And I looked at him and I thought, this is the one, you know? And I trust it. Good morning, Miles. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Go on, Sal. It's a great news. I wish the goalkeeper well and have a lovely weekend, Sal. God bless you. And always, brother, I think. God bless you too, Miles. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. My preferred goalkeeper was Cunha Santos. Yes, Frankfurt, but now he's at the trap left. Frankfurt, there is no chance Frankfurt would let Santos go. We were never connected to him anyway. Not really, no. Not really. We weren't connected to him. Man United have only been connected to the goalkeepers that we've heard a lot about the recent weeks, which obviously was Emiliano Martinez and Donnarumma and Senne Lammens. You know, and Senne Lammens is my favourite choice. It always has been. I like Donnarumma, but obviously Donnarumma was a bit of a dream because of his price tag. Not only the wages, it was his price tag as well, which was 50-odd million. So look, I'm happy with Senne Lammens because Senne Lammens is going to go under the radar people not expecting much from him. And with Donnarumma, they're going to be expecting big things. You know what I mean? Straight away. With Senne Lammens, you know what? Brilliant. You know, the overriding feeling for me, Tybo, whether it was Santos or whether it was Senne Lammens, is that we get a goalkeeper that is competent. We get a goalkeeper that is competent. We get a goalkeeper that is ready and authoritative and can, you know, not prone to mistakes. There are loads of goalkeepers out there who, if they were in goal at the weekend, we wouldn't have lost the game, including Santos. Xavier, let's not forget that we have African in the squad. We have African in the squad, our squad, and we need to depth it. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, VJ. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, BB. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, VJ. West Ham looks like a team that will fight for relegation this season. Yeah, you always get one that, you know what, is a bit of a surprise. I'm surprised that West Ham are fighting relegation because they have got some very good players, guys. They lost Kudus, of course, to Tottenham Hotspur, but they have got some very good players there, and some players that I rate highly, and some players that Man United were interested in, of course, you know. They're just a bit of a shambles. I honestly believe that. They're a bit of a shambles. Of course, won the Conference League only a year ago, wasn't it? You know, it's you know, they're going to have problems if they carry on like that, definitely. Dembo, Chelsea was shit against Palace, so wouldn't read too much into that game last night. Yeah, I think you have to look at it on a West Ham point of view. I think West Ham were more poor than Chelsea were good. West Ham have lost a lot of games like that, especially in recent years. They've lost a lot of games like that. It's not like the old Bowling Ground or Upton Park, as we call it. It's not like that. It's not like back in the day. I think the London Stadium is a little bit of a soft touch, apart from Man United. They seem to turn up every time they play Man United, of course. Yeah, I think the London Stadium hasn't done them too good. I know they won a trophy, they won a Conference League, but, you know, I don't think it's been good for them in the Premier League. Look, you know, what I would say is that it is a big ground, innit? And what used to make West Ham very formidable back in the day was the old Upton Park. It was very tight, as the chicken wing, as they called it, on the touchline where the fans were very close to the pitch. Yeah, and I remember that. VJ, thank God for the good goalkeeper. Now let's get a CDM. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Benny, positive vibes, people. We'll win tomorrow and kick the start. So come on, Benny. Let's do it, mate. MC Brit, what's going on, my friend? I'm optimistic after Lammens. A marquee signing, a statement, break the bank for Baleba. There you go, guys. You never know. You never know, my friend. You never know what's going to happen in the future, whether we sign Baleba or not. There is obviously rumours that Man United would do a deadline deal for Baleba. I believe it when I see it. I like Amadou Onana. That's been linked to Man United. I think he's got Premier League experience. He's got a good head on his shoulders. I like this player as well. He's been showing an interest in Man United as well. Look, there's got quite a few players. I mean, obviously, Angelo Stiller is one of them that we've been talking about over the last few days as well. There are quite a few players that are on Man United's radar. I just hope that we get one of those midfielders in. That would be great. That would be great. But also, it's very important that if we do bring in a midfielder, they are better than what we have. You know, because we don't want to bring a midfielder, for example, for me, in my opinion, like Hoyman, who's not better than what we have. I want a player who is better than what we have. And Amadou Onana is better. Baleba is better. You know, these players are better. I would say Lucien Ugume is better. I would say Lamine Camara is better. You know, that's what I would say. And yeah, look, you know, hopefully something happens within the next it's a week now, isn't it? Oof. VJ, still glazes out. Just imagine a team with a preseason training. Absolutely, VJ. And look, guys, I don't know. One thing I don't understand is why Manchester United didn't do the deal for Senne Lammens a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I just don't know. Absolutely. Ironic if Onana improves with the pressure. I think he's missed out on his chance, you know. Look, VJ, you know what I would say? If he improves, right, that says more about him and his character than anything else. It makes him look bad because that means he hasn't been really trying. You know, if he suddenly improves at the age of 29, you're going to be like, well, what happened with him last season then? Why has he all of a sudden become a good goalkeeper? Why was he costing us points last season? What's going on there? You know, it would raise a lot of questions. Good morning, Revert7. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Really good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you. Betis need to cough up the money if they want to. Anthony, cheapskates. Yeah. It's not like Betis haven't signed any players. They've signed quite a few players this season, haven't they? Look, you know, if they really love Anthony, like they say they love Anthony, they would go out there and they would spend the money on Anthony. Now they're looking for a loan with an obligation and a shared ownership. That's what Betis are looking for at the moment. Scumbags. Absolute scumbags. Shameless scumbags, guys. Shameless scumbags. VJ, that opening goal was something special. I did. West Ham fans are from Essex, fake Cockneys. I'm a real Cockney, by the way. I'm from Leighton in East London. I'm a proper Cockney. I'm not an Essex lad. I'm a Cockney. Those who know, that is a part of London that, we are from, which is in the East End. Yeah, they're from Essex. Yeah, they're from places like Chadwell Heath, Grays, Southend. They're from places like that in England. And that is where most West Ham fans are from. Apart from my friend Sharb, who's been a West Ham fan all his life and been to every single game. Yeah, even when it was at the old bowling ground, Upton Park, every single game. And when I was a young lad, I wasn't really into football. I'm talking about mid-80s, right? And I'm showing my age here. I wasn't really interested in football. And Sharp was my dad's best friend, and he loved football. And he tried to get me into football, and he tried to make me support West Ham. He actually took me to a couple of West Ham games back in the day, right? And I weren't feeling it. And one of the reasons I weren't feeling it is precisely what you said there. It was full of Essex lads, geezers, you know what I mean? And lots of horrible things were saying in the crowd. And me as an East Ender, look, I have affiliation with East End. And you know what, at the end of the day, and I would say that they've never represented East End properly, like I would say. And that's what I would say. They've never represented East End. The only team that's represented East End is Leyton Orient, and they're not that good. But I would say that the East End never represented East London, the true East London, what East London is all about, the multiculturalism, the everything about East London is what I know. And as West Ham, look, I don't mind West Ham. I've played on Upton Park pitch. I've had charity games there with my artist and stuff like that, and they've always been accommodating, always been. But I would say that they've never been the team for me. And I just feel like they're on the way down, in my opinion. I really do. Herbert, good morning. How you doing, my friend? We need one more midfielder before the window over. I hope so, Herbert. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Most West Ham fans are from Essex. Yes, absolutely. Red Fred, 55. You do get West Ham fans in East London, but it is more towards Essex. So basically, if you go down the Romford Road, you go to, you go towards Ilford, Seven Kings, Romford, Chadwell Heath, Goodmays, all these areas there that you would know if you lived in London and East and Essex. These are the areas that West Ham fans are generally from, guys. Grays. It goes all the way to Grays. It goes all the way to Southend, which is near the sea, of course. That's why they say West Ham against Southend is a derby and things like that, which it's not. It's far away from there. Onana has a strong physical presence in midfield. Prem proven too. I agree. He'd be costly, though. It'd be about the same as Mbuma, I would have thought, revert 7, yeah. Christian, he prefers to be called Andre. Andre Onana. I mean, the last time someone called Amadou Onana Andre, they got a big telling off in the media. Those are no. Not Andre, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. He got a big telling. That was during the European Championships, wasn't it? Good player, Onana, midfield, said we should have a move for him when he was Everton. We should have, yeah, very good player. We're snoozing, we're losing again, isn't it, at the end of the day? Snooze and lose as we do all the time, guys. Onana gets skinned by Greenwood. If I say stop it, he's young, mate. He was young there, Viva. He was young there. Goodness me. That was a friendly. Don't read too much into it. Absolutely. Goodness me. People. Lammens, number Heat and 2. Yeah, I agree with that. Dembo, absolutely agree with that. Sal, do you take Paueta? Is that how you spell it? Paueta? Is that how you spell it, mate? I'm not sure you can. Let me say that if it's spelled like that. Paueta. Paqueta, mate. Paqueta, the West Ham player, Paqueta. No, I wouldn't take Paqueta, mate. There was a time when I would have took Paqueta, but that's P-A-Q, by the way. I was confused there. It's Paueta, mate. As a footballer I don't know about. Paqueta. No, I think he's leaving. He's going somewhere else. I don't think we need a Paqueta in the team. No, absolutely not. No. How can we say people have agenda on Twitter when your agenda is confirming a signing before it's been done for views on YouTube? James Mullins. And guys, you can correct him on this one. It's absolutely up to him. I don't click things for views, James. I don't do that. I'm not one of those guys who click for views because I'm quite positive on Twitter, my friend. So if you want to come on here and say a lot of crap, you woke up in the morning feeling very down, maybe got an ugly wife, maybe you're ugly yourself, maybe you have to look at yourself in the mirror. I don't know what happened, James, but I can't fix that. But if you wake up, you turn on your computer and you waste energy and oxygen, maybe we should get, maybe just, do what you got to do, because go on your way. Because at the end of the day, we deal with a lot of positivity on this channel, mate. And if you're going like that, I have an inside knowledge about things. James Mullins, you do not. Okay. I say things, they come true. I said we agreed personal terms, they came true. If you're hating, mate, if you're jealous, that's okay. Just admit you're jealous. All right, mate? Because before I done these streams, before I done football content, let me tell you a little story about me. I done music for 20 years, mate. I don't need football. I love Manchester United. I do it for the love of Manchester United. I do it to communicate with Man United fans. I worked with platinum selling artists before I had this stream, guys. Before YouTube became a thing back in 2004, I was making music videos in Detroit. You know what I mean? So I think you should just calm your tits and get on your way. Okay, good boy. Thank you very much. All the best. Fun show. I watched Lammens last year against Club Brugge. He reminded me of a prime De Gea, absolutely, with his shot stopping. And his distribution is very tidy and decent. Big up, Fun show. I agree with that, my friend. Good comment. British Bulldog. Good morning, my friend. British Bulldog. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, pal. British Bulldog again. The defense would feel safer with a traffic cone in goal. I agree with that, Trish. Absolutely, I agree with that, mate. I really do. I have to. Kamali, good morning. Joining Manchester United is a whole other pressure, not for the weak. Lammens comes in, don't impress. Everyone goes on turn against him. What I like to think, Kamali, over the last number of years, Man United have signed players based on what they see on YouTube and things like that, which is wrong. What Sir Alex Ferguson used to do, he used to get to know the person. He used to get to know the character of the player before he would sign them. I would like to think, and I've heard this from various insiders, that Man United now are looking at the character. They are looking at the person, the habits of a person, the history of the guy. I look at Senne Lammens and I see a guy who has his head screwed on. I've seen a number of interviews of him after games and I see a head screwed on. You know what I mean? I see a head screwed on. Absolutely. Kevin, Senne Lammens, great news, bro. Big up, Kevin, bro. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. I'm still not having, but I'm not still not giving out. Come on, maybe it's 7. Come on. Don't be hurt, though, if it doesn't happen, of course. Sal, Andrew Stiller and Belabor would be a dream. I think Adam Wharton and Belabor would be a dream, but anyone, each to their own. Big up, Natty. Tammy, Belabor would be perfect. We know, absolutely. Sal, what's going on with this Streamlabs? Same post since stream started. Yeah, I'm going to stop them. Give me a chance, I'll stop them. I've done a post, but they keep sending me posts and stuff like that. Just bear me a second. I will get rid of them. So we have to buy midfielders before selling players to get cheap deal. Absolutely, we do. Absolutely. Over £40 million for Tyler Dibbling. Yet Chelsea are pricing Garnacho at £25 million. What a disrespect. In fact, Anthony should be sold for £50 million. I said it, Taiwo. I said it a long time ago, guys. Not only Tyler Dibbling, Madueke, players like that who have achieved far less than what Garnacho has. Ranked twice the Garnacho price. Come on. And what Man United did, right? They said to Chelsea, they said, okay, you can't afford the money for Garnacho. Give us Andre Santos. And then we can negotiate. But they don't even do that. They don't want to play ball with Man United. Sal is a proper EastEnder. I am indeed. Born in Leytonstone, mate. Proper EastEnder. You know what I mean? Proper, mate. Absolutely. Born and raised. Chingford, Leytonstone, Leyton, wherever I've been in EastEnder, mate. Welcome, pal. Another Irish United fan. Great content. Hey, big up the Irish Benny Marine. Red Fred 55. Welcome, Red Fred 55. And welcome to my brilliant Ireland viewers, guys. Really appreciate Irish people. I really do. Irish people are salt of the earth people, guys. And they are real. They are real people, man. Hopefully, I'll go to Ireland very soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to go there very soon. And yeah, look, guys, their beliefs and their the morality is the spot on, mate. Honest to God. Tammy Ghost, smash the likes, people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Sal is a proper communicator. Do not want to click. You can go for other channels if you want that. Thank you so much, Natty. Thank you so much. Look, you know what? People come on in, they're very bitter about their lives and they want to say bitter things about me and stuff and make up rubbish about me. That's fine. It's up to them. At the end of the day, they can do what they like. They will get blocked next time. Chidosi, Okofo, what's the update on Malacia? Look, one thing about, funny you should say Malacia is one of those guys who are going to be absolutely quiet. Not going to say anything because he's happy where he is. He's happy to sit on the bench and he's happy just to sit there, not caring about the World Cup. And that is what he's happy to do. Just sit there and let the season pass and let his contract run down. That is what he wants. That is what he wants. And that is one of the another cultural problem at Man United, one of them players. Sal, we look weak if we sell. Yes, absolutely we would. Southampton scammed Etton for real. How's Dibbling worth 42 million? I mean, I don't know. That's the valuation, isn't it, Kenny? That's the valuation now. That's the normal thing now. This is why I'm talking about Garnacho. If Dibbling is 42 million, how the hell can Garnacho even be worth 50? He's worth 70. And I said it a long time ago. He's a 70 million pound player. Puskas winner, Copa Libertadores winner, best top 5 young players in the world at his age. And we're selling him for 25 million. What other club does that? We're buying Senne Lammens for 25 million euros, roughly. It's probably going to be about that price, right? How can Garnacho be worth that 25 million? It's mad, isn't it? Big up, good morning into the great fans of Manchester United. Big up Samuel, my friend, and big up yourself. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you have a fantastic Saturday, guys. Guys, don't forget, by the way, I am doing a watch-along for Tottenham today against Manchester City. Who do we want to win that game? Don't forget to join me for that, guys. It's going to be a laugh. Absolutely. Big up GCTV. Yes. Come on, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Good to see. GCTV. Good to see you, mate. Big up. Garnacho is worth more than this unknown Southampton player. Yeah. He's relatively known. He's very highly talented. I wouldn't say that. He's a talented player. He's known in some quarters in regards to people got their ear to the ground in regards to up-and-coming players, Kenny. He's not the finished article. He's not. Man United were interested in him for a little while. How tall is the new goalkeeper? 6'4", as my friend Denbo confirmed today. He confirmed he's 6'4". And welcome to Red Fred 55, my friend. Green like Ireland. Absolutely. Much love, brother. Thank you so much for joining the community and the family, my friend. And we got some massive content coming for the members, guys. So don't forget to tune in for it, guys. It's going to be a mad thing, of course, guys. Absolutely. Brilliant to have you on board, Red Fred 55. Really good to see you, mate. And I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Of course, I'm a little bit anxious now. I'm anxious about, the game tomorrow. I am anxious. I have to say that because we put ourselves in a predicament where we lost the first game and now it's like the pressure is on for Man United to win. That's what it is at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. The pressure is on. Big up Red Fred 55. Absolute legend, of course. But look, I believe Man United will win tomorrow. I believe they will. I believe Mbeumo and Cunha will score the goals. Will win 2-1. That's my prediction. I know there's a lot of people predicting 3 or 4-0. I wish it was 3 or 4-0. I really do. I hope it's 3 or 4-0. I really do. If we win 3 or 4-0, I'll be overly excited. Of course I will be. I'll be overly giddy. We're winning the league and stuff like that. I know me, But, I just hope that we win, even if it's a corner off the backside in the back of the net in the last minute. I hope, I'm at that point right now where I don't care as long as we win. As long as we win, guys. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Big up, Kenny. I'd rather Spurs win today. I would as well. I want Spurs to win. Top Spur, me too. My prediction is 3-1 Man United. Come on, Kenny. Come on. I hope so. Goldberg predicted 3-0. What, the wrestler Goldberg? Isn't the wrestler Goldberg, didn't he cause an injury to Bret Hitman Hart many years ago? I don't know. I think Goldberg is a dangerous wrestler. But those who know me, I've done some work for WWE, by the way. I gave a cigarette to R-Truth. Well, my brother did. And we got the WWE in trouble and stuff like that. And it was a funny time, guys. It really was. Samuel, I've had Joe Hendry on the show as well. Joe Hendry, wherever he is, Joe Hendry's there. Absolutely. Joe Hendry's been on the show. I'm Samuel from Sierra Leone. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Today is my first time watching you. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Samuel. Welcome to the family, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Stretford Post. Yeah, guys, and keep it Stretford Post. We've got a lot of great stuff coming on. And, guys, we listen to the fan base because the fan base all around the world is what matters, guys. Man United. And one thing I wanted when I started these streams is that having moved to the UAE from England, from London, I wanted to communicate, keep in constant contact with Man United fans, and the great thing about this community is that I speak to Man United fans from all over the world, and you hear different opinions. And look, for example, you hear about players that you would never concentrate on any other time, and it's great, this community, and it's ever growing, guys. On the road to 100K, that's what we're gonna do, guys. And look, we won't forget our community, absolutely. Sal, if they score first, it'll be difficult. We have to be in control. I agree, because especially with Craven Cottage, we've struggled there over the last few years, and it has been a bit of a fortress. We scored in the last minute a couple of times. I remember the Garnacho one and Licha Martinez one. Big up Benny, the member now. The member. Benny's not only a nice person, he's also a member of Stretford Post. What a great gesture. Thank you so much, Benny, and welcome to the membership, my friend. Really great to have you on board. Guys, look, don't forget, guys, I've got a few membership videos on there at the moment, but I've got some big membership videos coming very, very soon. Lots of stuff coming, and hold tight. It's going to be a great one, guys. I'm building the channel as I go. One-man band, of course, and obviously my great community. But you know what? We are going to be getting bigger and better, of course, guys, as we go along, of course. I hope you like my graphics. I mean, I hope you like my graphics. I do spend a lot of time trying to improve it for you guys, of course. Thank you so much, Benny. Welcome to the membership, my friend. Really appreciate you every time. Every time I appreciate you, mate. Every time you come on. Guys, massive game tomorrow. The lineup, as I said, I hope that Sesko, Mbeumo, and Cunha play up front. That's one thing I want. I don't want any of that false number 9 business. I really don't. I really don't. Thank you so much, Benny. Big up, Benny, of course. I really don't want any of that false number 9 business. I don't want Mason Mount in the false number 9. I want Sesko, Mbeumo, and Cunha. That's what we need. That's what we need against Fulham tomorrow. That's what we need. And I'm excited to see that. If I don't see that tomorrow, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. I will be disappointed, because we need to start the best lineup, the most balanced lineup, not trying things out, experimenting right now. We need to try the best lineup, of course, guys. Absolutely. Revert 7 predicted 4-1 if we score first. Cunha, Mbeumo, and Sesko. Goodness, come on, Revert 7. I would love that, mate. I would really love that. If we win 4-1, I would really dearly love that. I would. And just to win the game, mate. Just to win the game. I don't want a nerve-wracking game, though. I did say 2-1. That's going to be nerve. That sounds nerve-wracking, innit? I do want a comfortable game. We haven't had one of those in a very long time, of course. A comfortable game. I mean, who would have thought? A comfortable game for Man United, a big win, of course. Sesko starts. Big up, Chidozi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully he does, mate. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he starts. I hope that he does start, guys. He does need to start. He does need to start. He definitely needs to start. Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko should be off the tongue. Every single first names on the team sheet. Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, and we should make that a thing. Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko. That's it. Absolutely. And I would love that. Absolutely. Sal, do you think Mainu will start? No. I'm a little bit worried about Mainu. I'm a big fan of Mainu, as people know. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the players coming through the youth academy as well. Mainu is a good player, but the Bruno Fernandes thing, he's going to play every single game in that number 8 position. By hook or by crook, he will play there. And I can't see Bruno Fernandes, the £100 million man, of course, guys, being dropped. I really can't see it. Benny, if we just start with his straight tempo and score first, we'll simply have too much for Fulham. I agree, Benny. Key is that scoring first. I think Man United do need to score first, and if we score first, Fulham have to come at us, and that will create spaces, obviously, for Mbeumo and Cunha to exploit. This is one thing I wanted to see against Arsenal. I wanted to see us score first, because Cunha and Mbeumo on that counter, when you give them space, they will destroy you. They will destroy you. And, this is what I want to see against Fulham. I really do. And if we manage to score first, I think Fulham will have to come at us. And I think we'll pick them off and it'll be 3-4-0. Maybe more. Who knows? Organised chaos. What's going on, my friend? Delict. Good. Delict played very well last game. Absolutely. Still has him in his pocket. Organised chaos. He still has him in his pocket there, of course. Saviour, more lights, guys. This is where we follow updates for our team, Manu, and continue, sir, with the good job you're doing. Thank you so much, Saviour. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone who takes the time out to watch this channel and this show, guys. We want to challenge the big guys, don't we? We want to get at the top. We want to get there, guys, because we believe that we are the real voice of the Man United fans. I would say that, and we're not agenda driven. We say it as it is, guys. Absolutely. I hope Mainu comes in the second half. Absolutely. Big up, my friend. Big up, Tammy. I hope so. What I want to see. My first choice midfield, as I've said, is Ugarte and Mano. I think they work very well together, in my opinion. Watched it in a friendly, was good. He kept Gyökeres quiet and blocked also. And it's no mean feat, organised chaos. To keep a player like obviously Gyökeres quiet, good player, man. Always knew it. Big up Kenny, big up Benny, of course. I'm glad we didn't get Gyökeres. I am now, in hindsight. I am. But I support anyone who comes to Man United. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. But yeah, I have a feeling about it. I have a good feeling about Sesko. I have a good feeling. And no one's expecting much from Sesko. With Gyökeres, people are going to expect him 30, 40 goals. Guys, this is my prediction, guys. My prediction is, before I leave, right, Sesko will be the top scorer this season in the Premier League. That's my prediction before I end the show, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you to the new members as well. Really appreciate you all. Guys, I will be back later on for the Tottenham against Man City game live watch along, guys. Join me for that, of course. Keep your notifications on. So when I go live, you will see me, of course, guys, like Joe Hendry. You will see me. And guys, please don't forget to smash a like. I've had 200 people in the house today. I should have at least 150 likes, right? Guys, please don't forget to smash a like, guys, on the channel. And please don't forget to put your notifications on. And I will be live if anything breaks. If we get Here We Go, which is expected for Senne Lammens. Let's wait and see what happens, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I will be back regardless later for, obviously, the watch-along, guys, and Chatterbox. So take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later on, guys. Have a great Saturday. Peace.